I'm Dani Wallace, and this is Be Inspired. Be Inspired is a safe place to have conversations that matter. We bring the very best speakers to you and also the very best in edutainment, where we entertain and educate at the same time. This event is for businesses that are ready to get gloriously uncomfortable as we show up, wise up and rise up together.
Everyone has really got each other's backs.
What Dani's created, second to none. Nobody else is doing this.
I've cried or had, several aha moments in every one of the talks today.
Be Inspired is genuinely one of the most amazing things that I've ever done.
They have made me feel part of the community.
But everybody has just seemed to embrace me, and people talk to me like they've known me for years.
It's been really nice meeting different people, and everybody's just been so lovely.
This isn't an event for women, it's for people in business, and that energy and that inclusivity is being reflected throughout.
There's nowhere else where you'd ever feel so held and so safe and so looked after and so loved.
I feel like there's something for everybody to hear.
But what really differentiates this event is there is a huge element of love.
And I've met people that I would never otherwise have perhaps connected with in business from loads of different walks of life.
There is so much that big brands and corporates can learn from the flexibility and the tenacity and the energy of young and startup businesses. Similarly, there is so much that small and startup businesses can learn from big brands, and it's my job to pull everybody together.
The ways I feel supported by Be Inspired, and in particular the Fly Anyway Foundation, is it's given me hope that I can actually achieve the visions that I have for myself in the future, such as having my own community interest company and actually having the business aid to make that happen.
You're talking about such amazing things that help you as a person and as a business in a way that doesn't feel gross.
The foundation's been amazing because it's hooked me up with people I never would have known about. I'm just off to this perfect start. From humble beginnings, where we were struggling to sell like 75 tickets, we are now selling out time and time again. Over 250 delegates, all energized, engaged, hungry for growth entrepreneurs wanted to show up, wise up and rise up. We are putting Be Inspired on the map here in the northwest of England as the place to come and collaborate, to network, to listen, to grow, to learn, and then to take action, as well as enjoying the journey together. We want you to come and get involved. Whether you are a part of the audience or indeed becoming one of our exhibitors or sponsors, this is definitely something you do not want to miss.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Happy Friday to you, shaky bums. It's Friday. I am excited for all of the reasons today. All of the reasons. I want to tell you all of the reasons. Please forgive the state of my room today. I'm having a mare. This has dropped off. It won't stay up. We are in the process of designing a bit of a different set for the corner of the room. We're ordering some more magnets for the weather. In fact, as we are gathering here today, this beautiful Friday, I say it's beautiful Friday because actually we're in Preston, the northwest of England, and the sun has just started to come out. It's been absolutely wazzing it down all night. And I've just looked outside and the sun has got his hat on, which I'm thrilled about as we head on into the DMs of the weekend to tell it that it looks sexy, and it does indeed look sexy. Tell me what's happening. Tell me what's going on for you guys. Tell me what's happening with the weather. In the UK, we tend to have three types of weather. Two of them are represented here on the board today. One is that it's sunshiny. The second is normally that it's, what's the other one? Rainy. And the other is that this one here. This is perfectly depicting UK weather. It's a bit shit. But it's not a bit shit in here. It's a bit bloody lovely in here today. I've got a couple of friends joining us this morning as we shake our bums. I want to ask you, because it's Friday and the way that this show is set up is on a Monday we set our intentions together, on a Wednesday we wise up and learn things together, and on a Friday we celebrate the shit out of each other. I want to know from you, what are you celebrating this week? I want to know in the comments what you are celebrating this week. Me, I am celebrating 11 incredible human beings that have already jumped into the Be Inspired Mastermind. The 4 now incredible human beings that have jumped on to Be Heard and Be Heard Pro. And I am looking forward to celebrating those of you that are sitting on the fence, waiting for cart claws, waiting, I don't know what you're waiting for some dramatic inspiration or confidence to suddenly hit you. Can I just add, it won't. You just need to hold your nose and dive right in is what you need to do. Who is going to come and join me and fill up those final 9 spaces before we close on Monday? Extremely excited. So if anybody wants to have a conversation with me about Be Inspired, the mastermind, or indeed Be Heard or Be Heard Pro, my diary is open and my DMs are open. All you need to do is drop me a little DM and say, Dani, got 5 minutes? The answer is absolutely bloody hell yes, I do. I've got my brewy. I'm ready for a brew and a natter. Let's have a look at Claire Deacon is watching along this morning. I had the honour of speaking to Claire earlier on this week. I'm launching my workbook and journal today. It's my first one and it's been a journey. Claire, make sure you post that in the Hive. I want to know about it. Amy Blaney, celebrating that by the end of the weekend, I will be a Reiki master. I've got a feeling. Are you going to be heading out with Be Inspired alumni? Nikki Kinsella on her Reiki Masters retreat. How very exciting. There's a few of you I know are doing that. It's peeing down here in Leeds again, Beth Thompson. Beth Thompson, who has just joined the IATQB team, working with us, which is very, very exciting about. Beth Thompson has a fantastic copywriting company called Dare Copywriting. And in order for us to expand, we need to make sure that we have everybody on the team that can help us grow, that understands. And between every single person on my team, like, we were just all so excited to be able to have a conversation with Beth this week and say, hey girl, come and join us, which she has. This is one of the things that sometimes happens with Be Inspired. And the same has happened with Kat Lindsley Hood. She's joined our team. We've got Lindsay McGlone has joined our team as brand relationship managers. Is that people get so into the like IATQB, what it is that we're trying to do. They understand it so well that it just makes sense that if they've got a pair of hands and a skill that we can utilize, then I want that to come from within the community. I want that to come from within the family. I want to support everybody to do well and raise them up. Linz Thompson, right? Linz Thompson and her incredible wife made a reel last week, and it was the Pamela Pupkins. What was it? The Halloween thing. Honestly, I want to know what your insights are on that reel, because I went back and I've watched it about 50 times because it absolutely gave me life. Nailing the cookie baking. Then today it's raining, but it's brightening up. Yeah, so we've got the incredible Beth Thompson is joining our team to help us with our marketing, which is just brilliant because everything that you see at the moment, it kind of comes from me. And no queen is an island. So yeah, really excited to welcome Beth, Kat Lindsley Hood as well onto the team as we move into leveling up, Be Inspired once again. So this morning, I've got 2 of my lovely friends to come and speak with you about their experience of Be Inspired. So I've got my brew. I've got one of my favourite hoodies on. I'm repping the Lisa Johnson contingency this morning with You Can Sit With Us. If anyone is looking for a really good business membership, You Can Sit With Us by Lisa Johnson is a really good one. I am an active member of there and absolutely adore the community that she's created. So I'm repping Lisa this morning with the You Can Sit With Us hoodie. It's incredibly comfortable. I think she's got merch available on her website. Shameless plug for my friend. But let's get down to business, shall we? My cup is from the Asdas and it says strong women. It should really say strong people, but it's from the Asdas. They're not quite caught up. Strong women need strong drinks. And I've got 2 incredibly strong women that are joining me this morning. I haven't got strong drinks for them just because of the way that things are set up virtually, but I'm hoping that they've both got a beverage of some description here with them this morning. Maybe not of the strong variety alcoholically, although it's 5 o'clock in the world somewhere, arguably. But this morning, I'm going to be joined by the incredible Maria Anderson and Sarah Park. So Maria, I'm going to invite through first. Maria Anderson, good morning to you, my petal.
Good morning. I've got my water.
Okay, there, darling. I see you.
It looks like a clean. Hello, amazing to be here.
Thank you so much for joining us this morning, Maria. First of all, before we start to have a chat, tell us about you. Tell us about what it is that you do.
So I help women who are experiencing menopause symptoms to master their hormones, stop being fine, and absolutely live the life that they love and deserve.
I love just how much you light up when you describe what it is that you do. It gives me life to see how excited and how happy that you are when you share with people, because it makes a massive difference to the people that you work with, right? Doing this work. Your talk at Be Inspired was called Mentioning the Unmentionables, right?
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I think walking onto the stage and saying vagina was a bit of a game stopper at first.
That was your opening gambit, straight in with the funny words, first thing.
But it is, yes. So it's mentioning the unmentionables, peeling back the mask on women's health. And that is so true. People are not using correct languages for our body parts, and we are ashamed and are not able to articulate. So if you have menopause symptoms, experiencing them, and you're not able to use the correct terms, as in vagina, vulva, all of these terms, and go and speak to a health professional, this is what is holding women back. Women are ashamed, people are ashamed to start talking about it. And I want to blow the lid off and break the silence and start talking. Please asking people to start talking about their menopause symptoms openly. And that is what happened for me on that stage, and having this opportunity and Be Inspired. It was just unbelievable experience.
And you're an absolute dream client in that we would turn up for our sessions together. I would push you a little bit like to the edge of kind of your comfort zone, and you'd work through it and then get it, and then you'd go out and then do that piece of work. And every time that talk got stronger and stronger, you really began to think about, there's such a wider impact here.
Yes.
Because you've been a midwife for many years, right? So you've worked within the NHS for many years. So you already know the danger that women are put in because there is such shame that surrounds their body. Or anybody who's got a bloody uterus, or anybody that's got what would be described as lady parts, or whatever other daft words that we use. If you go to the doctor and say you've got a problem with your hand, it's very obvious that you've got a problem with your hand. You've not got another word for it. Does anybody else have another word for hand? And this was one of the challenges that you put to the audience, was getting them to think about flipping it. How silly is it? And it was also really cool and quite funny to get the audience to be shouting out all of the different. We got lots of different words for vulva.
I had never even heard of 35 years of a midwife, and that's unusual. But
it didn't take us long to get to a casual see you next Tuesday. I mean, my audience did not let us down. Like, we got in there quite quick.
Oh my gosh, honestly, the love in that room. And for me, yes, I have worked in the NHS for 37 years. I am used to doing presentations, and for me, this was a whole step in a different direction, because it was about a clear message. It's my passion, my mission, and it was absolutely it was just so different. And I really needed to dig into myself and move away from me as a midwife in a presenter mode to Maria as the person speaking and really wanting to support women and people who are experiencing menopause symptoms, to know that they do not need to stay there, whatever the age, because it happens at all different ages. Some people are less than 40. Some people going through transitions, surgical menopause, medical menopause. It's happening to a lot of people, and we really need to start talking about it more openly.
Absolutely. And that was the shift for you, wasn't it? It was going from being in this corporate NHS environment where the idea really isn't to engage, it's really just to inform. It's not the job really of the NHS is to entertain in order for engagement, although there's a lot to be said for doing that. But it's shifting out into this space. the work that we really had to do was really like peeling back the layers, taking off of the corporate veneer and seeing how do we engage people in this conversation then? How do we bring people to the party? Because already it's quite uncomfortable for many people from lots of different backgrounds. Already that's, you know, if we have so many words for these things, then there's obviously like a degree of discomfort. So how do we take an uncomfortable conversation and bring everybody to the party? And that was the challenge, wasn't it, Maria? Was to get you into that position whereby your job, in order to engage, is to have something that you can go out with that's going to bring people in and want them to get involved. So a lot of the work that we did was around what we call it as part of the program, elevations. How did you find thinking about yourself as a speaker, utilizing things like elevations?
I think I found it. I think as much as in my own head, I knew what my mission was, but to be able to articulate that very quickly to people and be really clear was the first step for me. And as I went through the process, I was becoming comfortable with being uncomfortable, and I felt safe in the place of being able to show up as myself as well, you know, to drop almost like the mask of my health professional role and actually show up as myself, Maria. I'm a mother of 2 teenagers, and actually, you know, not be afraid to let people see me as I truly am as well. And that was part of the growing process for me. I did have a couple of wobbles on the way, as you know, as everybody does.
Everybody does.
And it was, but for me, when I had sessions with you, you have a unique gift and you are able to see the potential in everybody in their gift. And you very quickly, you know, it was so quickly that you were able to turn that around for me. That made sense, that I was able to go, yes, that is absolutely what I need to do to bring it to the fore and be able to share my message so clearly and passionately and be aligned with all of my values as well. It's so right. What you do is incredible, and all of the people that I've met, the experiences that I've had, the experience itself, even from the build-up, you know, getting on that stage, and I was the last person, you know, I was like going through, oh my gosh, but I just, once I got on there, what I could do was feel the love around me.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody wanted me to do well. I felt really safe, and for that to be my first opportunity as a speaker has given me so much confidence to go out and now pick up opportunities that are flying at me now.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's one of the really delicious things for many of the cohort, particularly coming out of now we've elevated the event to Man United. Now that we've invited lots of different types of business from lots of different backgrounds, because you didn't know that you were going to be speaking at Man United when you signed up.
No.
You thought we were going to be, you know, in the basement of the Theatre Impossible. It was going to be like a relatively small venue, relatively small audience. Whereas actually what we've done is we've created this incredible business event that's being watched nationally by loads of fantastic big businesses who are seeing us set the bar now. And as such, it's an incredible positioner for all of our speakers. So what's been beautiful to see is those direct opportunities come in the way of the cohort in the direct aftermath because of the PR that we've been able to generate, the connections that you've been able to make. Just by saying now, I've spoken at Be Inspired, is like, oh, she's spoken to Be Inspired. Oh, she's definitely a safe pair of hands then, because people know that you've been trained by one of the best people in the UK, that you are indeed a safe pair of hands. You know what you're doing, because I have to put my name to every single speaker that's on that stage.
Yeah.
So having all of that in your corner means that, you know, seeing your opportunities, but also the quality of your social media has really amped up. The way that you speak about everything that you do is really amped up, challenging yourself to be more visible, not just in the speaking arena. And I've said this in one of my emails and in my social media post yesterday, that it's not just about speaking on the stage, it's about how you talk about yourself all the time. Like when you introduce yourself right at the very beginning, just then seeing you light up and be able to just say that loud and proud without any kind of confusion. This is what I do. This is who I help. And you can feel the passion coming from it. And that, seeing that growth in you, I think has been particularly yummy.
Yes.
Maria Anderson.
Honestly, I know that you've got spaces left, and you know, and for me, yes, it's an investment, and oh my goodness, it is the best investment you will ever make. I've never been on a program like this at all in terms of growth, messaging, really clarity and confidence. And if you've got that real message to share, which I did, and I'm sure lots of your viewers have, then why not you? Why not you? Because people need to hear what you need to say. And but the first step is for you to step up, you know, and I had to step up. And yes, it's a financial investment, and it's lots of others. It's getting uncomfortable, but it's a financial investment. But my goodness, it has completely paid off in terms of every bit of growth that I have had. And so if you are on the fence, you just get off it right now on the right foot and jump in, because you will not regret it. You are in very safe hands. Honestly.
Maria, thank you so much. And thank you for sharing your experience. It's been an honor for someone who's been so established within such an establishment for so many years. And as you make your transition into taking up space in the world, this newer way, this even more impactful way, this way that's quite free now. You don't have the same kind of red tape that maybe you would have done in that sort of corporate NHS world. It's an honor for me to have been part of that journey as you've made that transition. And I am so, so, so proud of you. Thank you for joining us this morning, Maria.
No problem at all. And please get off the fence.
I love you. I'll see you in a bit. That is Maria Anderson. Please do go and check her out. She is an incredible menopause coach. If you're perimenopausal or menopausal, please do go and see Maria. She is phenomenal. So I have another friend to speak to you this morning, who it feels crazy to think that it was only this time last year that I was having the conversation with this person about coming into the mastermind. And then everything that she's created since that point has been, as a friend, as a mentor, just been absolutely jaw-dropping. So please welcome the disability diva herself, Sarah Park. Good morning.
Good morning.
How are you, Sausage? Are you all right?
I'm all right, thank you.
Thank you so much for joining us on the show at Rise Up Show this morning. I am really super, super grateful. Hello, Maria. Your brother is watching from Norway, Maria. He's saying the work that you're doing is amazing. I'm just talking to Maria. Maria's backstage. She's smiling. Chris, thank you for joining us this morning. You're an angel. So, Sarah, you joined Be Inspired a year ago.
I did.
So you are now 6 months outside of the process.
Yeah.
So tell us a little bit about what you do in the first instance.
Okay, so my main aim is to empower disabled people to feel like they are valued and have a voice. And I do that in a number of ways through kind of the community that I'm building. I'm looking to launch a membership in the new year for women with disabilities, where we do discuss a lot of the issues that women in general would be experiencing, but actually with a disability, it becomes even more of a challenge. Linking to some of what obviously Maria talks about with regards to the menopause and stuff like that, because that's the age group that I will be kind of aiming at,
working with, absolutely.
and stuff. So yeah, a lot of what I've been doing. You said to me in the very beginning, this is just the beginning for me, and I didn't really get what you meant at that point. I wasn't even meant to be doing Be Inspired. I was going to be doing just Be Heard Pro.
Be Heard, yeah.
and I was scared. I wasn't. I didn't think I was ready. I didn't think I had anything to say. I lacked so much confidence in that first conversation that we had about it.
I'm smiling because I remember the conversation really, really well, and you was scared, and there are a lot of people that out there are watching this. They may have been to be inspired, and they've seen themselves on that stage, but they don't feel like they're quite ready enough yet, or they don't feel like they've got something to say, or they think they're boring, or they think that there's already so many people that are doing what they're doing, and it's absolutely pointless, or they feel like they're too early in their journey, or conversely, they might feel like it's not for them because it's too not advanced enough. So lots of people have lots of different fears. And I remember that conversation really, really well with you where I could see that it was just the beginning for you, and you were feeling really trapped by your position, right?
Definitely. Obviously, for me, the journey didn't actually start on that conversation. It started by me just attending Be Inspired that September.
Yeah.
And I wasn't meant to be even going to that. And I decided, yeah, I'm gonna go. And it was just the love in the room and the conversations that I had and the belief in me that actually I have something to give.
Yeah.
Whereas I'd spent a lifetime believing that what I'd got is what I'd got. That's
Yeah.
it. That's life. Accept it, and all of that sort of stuff. Whereas I actually was allowed to dream, I was allowed to believe, and I was allowed to believe in myself. So for me, the journey started not at Be Inspired when I spoke, but it started 6 months prior to that.
As an attendee.
Yeah, as an attendee, and just the journey that I have been on in the last year, and like I'm still working out the brand. I'm still working out exactly what I want to achieve and what I want to do. But I know that now I've invested in myself to be
Yeah.
able to do some of that stuff.
And you have now the kind of the stories and the pieces of value that you can speak about when it comes to bringing people closer to your cause. So your talk was phenomenal and really was necessary food for thought for everybody in the room, including our team. I think that was you were really pivotal in our shift as a wider team and a wider community into actual inclusion and not just trying to be inclusive, actually making that a part of our value set, to make it a non-negotiable for everything that we do, is to be in a constant position of growth where inclusivity is concerned. And for us, Sarah, your input and insight was really pivotal for that. And I think that the power for you really, as a speaker now and as somebody who works to support other disabled people, is that you're a real change maker and a conversation starter that allows businesses and just members of the general public to start to identify, these are the difficulties that our disabled community experience on a wider level. How can we make those educated decisions prior to alleviate some of that work that members of our disabled community or any other marginalized community have to do? And that for me is something I wanted to thank you for, was that education on that side of things now allows us to, at the next event we will have a care team, so we'll have an accessibility team, and we'll be working a little bit closer with you to work out how we make that happen properly. And it was, as you're sort of bootstrapping an event, as you're creating something from the ground up, the first thing that many people don't think about is inclusivity. They think, I've got this really good idea, I've got this big mission, I've got this big event that I want to do. But actually, when you start to drill down, if you want that event to grow, then it has to be inclusive. So from the team and I thank you, because it means that as we grow, everything that you taught us becomes integral to how we put on an event, and loads to learn from last time as well. So the last one, there was lots of notes on like table height and breakout areas and how high the food was being served. All of this sort of stuff weren't things that we thought about prior, because it's not something we've really had to think about. And your feedback, you just being a member of our community, with this incredible insight has been phenomenal. And that's, you as a change maker are just incredible.
And some of that is, obviously there's only so much you as an organization can do, and it is about me educating you so you can then go and educate other people as well.
Right.
So like obviously they are a massive corporate environment, and they're getting it wrong.
Really wrong. Like, with just how wrong it was crackers. But wrong for quite a wide variety of people. So again, what we get to do is speak to you. You're a part of our community, and one of the beautiful things is that how valued every person is, not just from us teaching you, but how do we make everything better all the time perspective.
Yeah, definitely. And that's part of what my mission is that actually if I can educate those people on the outside of things, they can start to infiltrate into the bigger communities and the bigger corporate areas. And off the back of Be Inspired myself, I have got collaborations going on where I'm helping other people with some of their courses, to include a more accessibility, inclusive kind of section into their kind of courses and things like that. And
love that.
So that in itself is just quite exciting. And
Yeah.
I've had so much go on in the last sort of 6 months to a year, where I've said yes to things. And I think that's kind of one of the key elements for me is anyone who's sort of on the fence and getting splinters. If you are feeling uncomfortable about it, look at the reason why you're looking uncomfortable about it. Some people it's not right for them right now, but if it is, you'll know. You just know.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think waiting to be ready is something that you will always wait for. You'll never be ready. If you was ready, you'd be doing the thing already.
Exactly.
So Sarah, thank you so much for joining us this morning. And I know you just said, like, if anybody's sort of sat on the fence, but if people are worried about, quite a few people have been like, financially, it's a massive investment in another coaching course, in another program. What would you say to those people who are, they might be course consumers?
Yeah, I was really worried about the financial side of it because it was at the beginning of me actually investing in myself, and that was something that I'd never done ever. And so financially, I knew I'd got this money sort of saved up, but that's not what the purpose was for. And I had to make some decisions as to what I wanted to do. Did I want to, jump in and use those finances? And for me, I'm just so glad that I did, because actually it has been a journey for me, and I am progressing and I am developing. Everything that I do is impacted now, and it's like, yes, people are struggling financially, but you've already spoke about the fact that there are options. You don't have to pay all in one go, that sort of thing. And that actually look at the investment for later on, because for me, I don't think I would have done half of what I've done just in 6 months, let alone what I'm talking about doing in the next 12 months.
Absolutely. And without having maybe done that in the first instance, you wouldn't have let yourself even consider the opportunities or the potential of what it is that you are going to do, and that you are creating within the collaborations that you're doing, and also within the Disability Diva as a brand itself. And I think that when you're considering making an investment, sometimes these investments need to stretch us and make us make us a little bit uncomfortable, because then you have skin in the game. Like, nobody makes an investment like this and then doesn't turn up for it, because you need to. Like, I would never in a million years want somebody to do this and then just not do anything with it. And we make it, as a whole team. And it is a whole team, Sarah, isn't it, that looks after you? It isn't just me. I'd fall apart if it was just me. Let's be perfectly honest. But there is a whole team that look after you as part of this process. So be it Anna, who's my wing woman through the whole process, who helps everybody logistically, or whether it's Wallace from a graphics perspective, or whether it's, our photographer Vicky, or whether it's the film farmers, or whether it's even like the in-house team. It's a real team effort to get everybody over that line and get them doing all the things.
And the amount of resources you get from doing the experience. So obviously with the show reel and the speaker sheet and all of that off, and that's something you can then take into the future. It's not just about that one event and that's it. And obviously for me, I've made those connections with yourself, with Anna, and stuff like that. And I still feel supported by you all now, and it's not just like a course and that's it.
It doesn't go away once you've finished. That's it. You can't speak to us ever again. We're far too important to be able to speak to any of our previous clients. We do remain a family, and we do remain, part of a bigger community that supports the wider IATQB community. And you are so very loved and so very valued. Sarah, thank you for joining us this morning. You are an absolute belter, and I'm so proud.
And just do it. just go out there and
do the thing. Stop sitting there thinking. If you've got splinters on your backside, jump off the fence and come and jump in to be inspired. Sarah Park, I love you. Thank you so much for joining us this morning. So that was Maria Anderson and the incredible Sarah Park, who are Be Inspired alumni, who have had very different experiences. Sarah's further out of the experience now, is kind of 6 months out of the experience, and is still continuing to use everything that she's learned as part of Be Inspired, Be Heard, that whole program process, and continuing to build her business. The opportunities that are coming through for our cohorts now are fantastic. So we've got TEDx speakers that are coming through, multiple TEDx speakers that are coming through, collaborations, paid opportunities, really well paid opportunities. We have our speakers that go on and work with the likes of ITV, working with their in-house team, podcasts. They've gone on to become radio presenters, or things that when they first started working with me, they never even dreamed that they were going to be able to do. And I want that for you. We have 9 spaces left on the Be Inspired Mastermind. You can, if you want, pay in installments, and those installments go right the way up to 12 months now. We realized this week that it might be a stretch for some of you, and that might be the difference between coming to jump in with us or not coming to jump in with us. So there are 3, 6, 9, and 12-month payment plans available for Be Inspired. For Be Heard, if you're not quite ready to do the mastermind, you can do Be Heard or Be Heard Pro, which is our 8-week course, or the 8-week course plus some one-to-one with me as well. And there are payment plans available across the board. All you need to do is go to imthequeenbee.co.uk/packages. If you just choose the package that you want, it'll break down the payment plans for you. But there is 3, 6, 9, and 12-month payment packages available on Be Inspired. So if that has been a bit of a decider for you so far, and that is the game changer, and you want to have a conversation with me over whether Be Inspired is for you, drop me a DM. I've got plenty of time all the way through today. But not after 5 o'clock tonight, because at 5 o'clock tonight, I'm going to be hopping over to Manchester for one of the really special treats for our Be Inspired Masterminders. So we have a competition between day 1 and day 2 around ticket sales, and every year, every Be Inspired, I take the winners out to a beautiful restaurant for our winner dinner, whoever sells the most tickets. And day 1 were our winners for this particular event. So I'm going to be hanging out with the day 1. I'm going to miss day 2. Day 2 is I love you. I'm going to miss you. But I'm going to be hanging out with our day 1ers tonight. We're going to a lovely, beautiful restaurant in Manchester. So we'll go live from there a little bit later on today to share with you a little bit of our experience. I hope that's given you some insight into into the process of Be Inspired. I am unapologetic for how much I'm posting about it. I'm unapologetic for how much I'm telling you. The doors close on Monday night at 10 p.m. So if you want to get involved, you've got till Monday night, because we begin on Wednesday evening at 8 o'clock. So if you are sat on the fence, if you need to juggle some things or have some conversations, do go and do that. But get yourselves in. Come and have this opportunity. Come and seize this opportunity to raise the game for yourself, for your mission, for your business, for your industry. And let me be the one to hold your hand whilst you do it. All right, my darlings, have a phenomenal Friday. A little bit of alliteration there for you. Love a bit of alliteration. I will see you over the course of the weekend, probably later on today as a live with my day oneers. I think you are amazing and wonderful and fabulous. Please tell me in the comments what you are celebrating today. I am celebrating every single one of you. We got through half term. Yes. Oh, we are warriors. For those of you that have got kids or are caregivers of kids and you've been minding the kids this week, cheers to you. We survived. Oh, I'll see you later. Tra.